Hi, hello, how are you today? Hope everyone is fine. And let's start today's lesson. So, today we're going to talk on function machines. Okay, you have covered them last year, and even in you have done something similar in primary as well. So, function machines, basically we have the input. We have the input, then we have the operation, what we call the operation, and then the output. Okay, so we have the input. For example, let's take 4. We have the operation, and then we have the output. It's like that's why they are called function machines, because it's like a machine. You give it something, you give it an input, and you will get an output. Okay. Operation, of course, here we are referring to either addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. So these are the operations that we are using in the function machines. So in this case, for example, if the operation is plus 7, okay, the output will be 4 plus 7, which is equal to 11. Okay, so that is in general. We have the input here, the operation, and then we will get the output. If we take another example, for example, 5 as an input, the operation will be minus 10. To find the output, 5 minus 10 is equal to minus 5. Okay, so we have used addition and subtraction. We do the same with multiplication and division. For example, if I have again 5 as the input, but the operation here is times 3. 5 times 3 is 15. So the output is 15. Okay? If we use division, 27, let's say that we have an operation of division by 3, 27 division by 3, of course, it is equal to 9. So basically that's it, okay? These are function machines. When we have the input, the operation, either plus, minus, times, or division, and then we get the output. However, sometimes we have more than one operation. Here we have one operation, as I told you, either plus, minus, times, or division. But sometimes we can have more than one operation. Let's say, for example, we have 4 as an input. Okay, the first operation is multiply by 2. The second operation is plus 1, and we need to find the output. Okay, so to do that, it's fairly simple. Okay, 4 times 2, which is equal to 8. 8 plus 1 is equal to 9. So that is how we find the output. Let's take another one. For example, on input we have 7. Okay, as an input, the first operation is times 3. The second operation is minus 4, and we need to work that out. These are not on the notes, but as I told you, these you have covered them last year as well, but I'm doing some revision as well. So to do this, to find the output, we need to work out 7 times 3, which is equal to 21. 21 minus 4, which is equal to 17. So that is how we work out function machines. This year's syllabus is that we are given both the input and the output, and we need to find the operation. Okay, so we're going to have something like this. For example, we're going to be given the input, let's say 5. We are going to be given how many operations are there in this function machine. And let's say that the output is, for example, 9. Okay, And we need to find the rule. We need to find what we are doing to this 5, so that will become 9. And it is, of course, plus 4. Okay, plus 4. Sometimes you can have more different possibilities. Okay, different possibilities. For example, let's take 3 and the output is 6. Okay, there are 2 possibilities for the operation. I can either use times 2, because 3 times 2 is 6, or I can use plus 3, because 3 plus 3, of course, is 6. So whichever operation you use is correct. Okay, so you don't have to worry. And that's what we are going to do today. Okay, so we are going to be given the input, the output, and we need to find the rule, the operation. So on page 10 of your notes, page 10, last 2 pages of this pack, okay, DLO, which is the learning outcome, what we are going to learn after we finish this subtopic. I can find the rule for a number machine, or sometimes we call it function machine, okay, involving up to 2 operations, so up to 2, not more than 2 operations, given a set of input and output values. So as I told you, we are going to be given the input and the output with a maximum of 2 operations, and we need to find the rule. Okay, that's today's lesson. It is fairly simple, nothing complicated here. So finding the rule. Sometimes you are given the input and the output, and you are asked to find the rules that the number machine could be using. Example, plus 4, minus 9, times 3, and division by 6, etc. It could be any value, basically. You can try to guess the rules, and you might find different possible solutions, which are equally correct. As I have shown you here, we have 2 possibilities, either times 2 or plus 3. It doesn't matter which one you're going to put here, okay? It will be correct. And you have these examples on page 10. Page 10, okay? The question is find the rules and continue the number machine. Of course, this is an example, so you have the rule written over here. So we have 1 as the input and 2 as the output. So this is a machine, okay, which is called the blue machine. This is the red machine and the green machine. Okay, blue, red, and green. So they are different machines, but this is one machine. So if the rule is here times 2, even here it's times 2. Okay. So what do you notice? I mean, the input is 1, the output is 2. Input is 2. Input is 2, output is 4. Input is 3, output is 6. So basically what we're doing is we are multiplying by 2. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 2, of course, it's 6. Okay, so you need to continue filling up this table, of course, by multiplying by 2. The next number machine or function machine is about 2 operations, when we have 2 operations. So as you can see here, we have 1 as input and 3 as output. You might think we are adding 2. Okay, but is it correct for every step if we add 2? So 2, if we add 2, the output should be 4, not 5. Okay, so we cannot, it isn't the correct answer, plus 2, okay, because 3 plus 2 is 5 and not 7. So there's something else. And most probably when there is the difference is not the same, most probably we have two operations. Okay, for example, here we have 1 times 2, which is equal to 2. Okay, 2 plus 1, which is equal to 3. So the operations, we have two operations, plus 2 and plus 1. Okay, so we are multiplying by 2 and then adding 1. So 2 times 2 is 4, 4 plus 1 is 5. 3 times 2, which is 6, 6 plus 1, which is 7. And so on. You need to continue filling in that table. If we move on to the green machine, we have 1 as an input, 1 output. So you might think, how is that even possible? 1 input, 1 output. So there isn't any operation there. But if we continue, we see that the input 2 here, output is 3. 3 as an input, so and the output is 5. So there's something. Of course, there's certain operations being done. Okay, and if you look closely, if we multiply the input by 2, so 1 times 2 is 2, and then subtract 1, so 1 times 2 is 2, minus 1 is 1. Times 2 minus 1. We can see that even 2 times 2 is 4, 4 minus 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6, 6 minus 1 is 5. Okay, so in this case, the operations are times 2 and minus 1. And you need to continue filling in that table. Okay, hope that everything is clear so far. This was just as an example. Okay, the operations are given and you need to fill in just the tables. Now on page 11, you have these exercises. So I'm going to explain them, okay, so that I will leave it up to you to work them out, and then I will send you the answers in the next lesson as well. So question 1. Work out the rules for the following adding and subtracting number machines. So here we are told that we need to add something or subtract something. Okay, no multiplications, no divisions here. Okay, because it's in the question that we need to add something or subtract something. Now, of course, how do you recognize if you're going to add something or subtract something? Always, this is the input, this is the output. So as input we have 7, output we have 10. So of course we are adding. Okay. B, we have 12, as input, as output we have 8. So here we are subtracting. Okay, so here you need to write plus, and by how much. In B you need to subtract and by how much. C and D, of course they are the same. Next exercise. So question 2. Question 2, work out the rules for the following multiplying and dividing number machines. So now we are told that these function machines we must multiply or divide. Okay, we must multiply or divide. So 24, of course, how can we recognize if we must divide or multiply? Very simple, we look at the input and the output. The input here is 24, output is 6, so output is smaller. Since it is smaller, we are using division here. 24 division by something to get 6, not multiply it. When you multiply a number, you will get a bigger number, of course. And you need to find the rule in every case here. Now question 3. Question 3, it's a bit different, but let me explain. So Tom has two number machines. So Tom has this number machine 1, okay, number machine 1, and number machine 2. Okay, so 2 number machines. The input for number machine 1 is 3 and the output is always 4. The input for number machine 2 is always 6 and the output is always 17. And the question is this: write down 3 possible rules for each number machine. So you need to find rules, different rules, in fact 3 different rules for machine number 1 and machine number 2. So let me give you an example and give you a solution for machine number 1. For machine number 1, for example, we have 3. Okay? Let's say I want to multiply by 2. So times 2, but 3 times 2 is 6. And the output is 4. So to get 4 from 6, I need to subtract 2. Times 2 minus 2. And that is one possibility. You need to write another 2 for number machine 1. You have to do the same for number machine 2. You need to write three different rules for number machine 2. Okay? So you might want to divide and then add. You might want to multiply and then add. You can use addition and subtraction, whichever you want. Okay? The most important thing is that for number machine 1, the input is always 3 and the output is always 4. Okay? And for number machine 2, the input is 6, the output is 17. So this is today's lesson. Fairly simple and short lesson. Okay, so from page 10 you need to continue these tables and work out page 11. Okay, so have a nice weekend, stay home as much as possible so that this is over hopefully quite quickly. Okay, and I'll see you next Monday with another topic on ratios. Okay, bye for now.